Grand Day Soul Siblings is Shay Seeking from American Aborigines Unchained. And this is not your mama's Bible study because we know that his story lies. And so, again, we are back breaking the Bible, is what I call it, or the Bible being unearthed because we are using our vessel, our universal vessels in order to now that again, not to say that this is the book that they were talking about, but now that the books are open, because I believe a lot more people are reading books like the Nag Hammadi. Again, I just say these because these are easily and readily available to find, and they have a lot of information in them. And again, you will know, see, the church has tried to keep you away from these texts, especially you origines, right? Because again, there's too many things that correlate. They try to make it seem like all these things are different. Even with the Apocrypha, that is a small book. It is open. The book of Enoch is open. The Cobran Bible is open. So there are lots of things to interpret what's going on here. And again, let's remember that it may have all based and stemmed from one place, but again, we wouldn't even know that original place. So we have to use what we have right now because, again, we can go back and learn all of those ancient texts, and it's fun to do it when you're researching. But I've learned that using our, if you are in tune and if you have been already working towards this, that now is the time where you can use little of that and start to go off of all that you have taken in, and be able to profess it. Now, the only reason why I like to bring images and still show you guys words and do etymology on screen is so people like to see it for their own self. It intrigues people. Then they want to go and see if the same thing will happen when they do it, on their own. That's how I started to even learn, because again, we are the ones that we have been waiting for, and you have been deceived. There may be a man that's going to come and sit on a throne at this time, but it's not no miracle, miraculous moment like they have, no fantasy type of moment they have you thinking about in the church. This is probably a person of a governing status that is going to come and sit on the hill, Capitol Hill, or in some type of White House or on a throne there, okay, and or a group of people even that will be then in power, just like it's always been here. This is what we've always been talking about. We have done family trees on these people that I feel is close enough for someone that is here to do this type of work that I'm doing, because there are many of us. You may not be able to hear or see them because some of them, again, are being silenced, things like this, okay? And some of them, maybe just don't, like I was really shy. So again, doing this is something that's always new to me every single time that I do it, and not really shy because I'm really cool to get along with, and I think this is what I think, right? Because again, I don't bring that many people around me in my home and things like that, but at the same time, family, but at the same time, I know that these are my soul siblings that I need to be looking to, because we all hold pieces of the puzzle. No matter what you're calling yourself, these are all titles given to us. So it's no offense. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying people shouldn't go do the research like I told y'all the other day. I'm not saying you shouldn't be doing your family tree, because every time I go deeper in my tree, more things open up within me and I'm able to see a lot deeper, right? So again, I'm not saying nothing against none of these things. Go get what the hell you think you need to get and do what you need to do. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I'm just bringing this because, again, it feels as though it is a message, and those who have eyes and ears will hear and see. Okay. So this is just, again, something that I do, and I don't even think it's for fun anymore. It's just what I do. Okay. So, and I know a lot of y'all know what I'm already talking about. Okay. So these are the moments here. So again, we're going into double digits here when it comes to, or we're already there when it comes to January. And again, when we were looking at Revelations the other day, and then even when we were looking at Daniel, it seems though the verses, right? You might be in chapter whatever in Daniel, but the verses seem to be occurring, events seem to be occurring on those particular days. So if it's verse 5, if you look at the 5th of January and see what's going on, just like I tell you guys to do with Genesis, if you look at the 7th day, it just is talking about the 1700s. So you go back and see what was going on at that time, and just that one sentence or a couple of verses or scriptures in there will give you an encompassing look at what you've already taken in. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the information is already here. We're just opening up gates. And these words like this are key words to help, again, trigger something or help you remember. Okay. So again, we're going to go ahead and read this chapter 17. And again, you can do this on your own, but I'm going to show you guys some very relevant things right here on this screen in a second. Okay. So I'm just reading from the regular Bible here. I have my Living Bible here, but you know what? I'm going to open it because again, this is my favorite one because it has dates and stuff in it. You know, this is why I think they keep you in the King James, like I always say. Okay, so I'm just gonna probably the words are smaller, so you might have to bear with me, but we about to get on up in here. Okay, so again, 17. Okay, yeah, we'll do this. Okay, and in the regular Bible it says the doom of Babylon predicted. Okay, but we're gonna read from the Living Bible. Okay, so it says one of the 7 angels who had poured out the plagues came over and talk with me. Come with me, he said, and I will show you what is going to happen to the notorious prostitute, okay, who sits on many waters of the world. Okay, so again, when we're talking about a prostitute or a harlot, this is basically talking about someone who has it's not always talking about actual sex like we think today. It's also talking about people who have taken oaths or in secret type of societies, or they have their hands in different cookie jars around the world, or they have debt or made an oath or a vow or something to another nation or power or another corporation, you know, in order to be dealing, right? Dealers or merchants, right? So when we're talking about California, these are the first places your eye, if we're looking at the Americas, we will be looking at California. We will be talking about New York, and there may be another portion somewhere in the South, maybe around Georgia, that is a powerful mountain or hill at this point in time. Okay. And so, again, we're going to just go to the two because there's other things that are correlating. We're going to look at New York, and we're going to, because we have the Statue of Liberty, and there's the stock market and the stock exchange or whatever, and things like that. And then you have the entertainment industry that's run all up and through and out California. Okay. All right. And so, let's keep going. So this just means that somebody is dealing with a lot of different nations. Okay. In some instances, again, it would be good for you to do etymology on it. Okay. Okay. And so now we keep going here, and it says, and again, we're just using these words as triggers, to remember, right? Because the Akashic records, or that which is within your makeup, is already there. That is stored. We're just remembering basically because we've been asleep all this time, right? So we're basically doing research and remembering. Okay. And so now it says, the kings of the world have had immoral relations with her. Okay. And the people of the earth have been made drunk by her wine, of her immorality. Okay. So again, in this Bible over here, it says the inhabitants, right? So if we're dealing with inhabitants, that's talking about people that have been brought into a nation. These are indigenous people that are the first groups or subgroups that had mated with the originals and caused giants to come. So like if you look at Guinea or Guyana, or someone posted something like that about that earlier, being really the one over here in South America, and then they have the one in Africa. But if we look at it like that, if you look at who those people were, those were some of the first people that Columbus supposedly encountered. And I think it has something to do with the the Arawak and another group. And one of these groups, if you look at this island that they went to, it was another island I think that he went to as well. You go back and you look at these groups and look at the storyline that happened, and you'll see that these are probably the Nephilim. Okay, these or the fallen angels, right? Okay, that these people were dealing with, because if you look and study those people, you'll find out that that these people were giant, right? And then if you go to the Amazon, they said that they've been finding giant flowers, giant, they have the anaconda, they have giant, what I'm saying? And then if you think about Amazon, I know they try to pinpoint some of the bones of Amazonian women over in Russia or something like that. But again, we already know what was going down in the Americas. If you look at that, or Arnaldo, whatever his name is, the book, and see that woman, possibly, that is on that image that is standing on her throne. If you really look at that, it kind of looks or resembles like a Kali, in an instance, right? Because she has her shell sitting on the resting on the back of a so-called Caucasian or pale pigmented man. Okay, so let's keep going. I hope this is interesting to you guys, because again, this is going to definitely grab you right here when I show you this here. Okay, so let's keep going. And then it says that okay, so they have become drunk. Now again, let's think about that too. All right, so now these are the inhabitants of the earth. That's anyone that had been brought in. Like I said, indigenous people. That doesn't make them less original, because if their mothers were original and their fathers were, do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so and then again, think about that too, about how California, or the entertainment industry and celebrities that have been, again, lying about everything from their androgynous person. Okay, and again, I don't lean towards all of these people being evil and all this, because again, at the end of the day, I'm trying to hold myself back from judging. Even when it comes to, I might show an image or something like that, but I'm not really judging to a certain extent these people, because again, we'll have to see for ourselves, right? But let's see, wine of her immorality. Oh, okay. And that's what I was going to say, that the earth, has been affected by this. So everything that they lied about, everything they took from us, everything that they've been doing to us, it has all been affecting the earth. The earth is you. If you look in the concordance, if you have, there's different concordances, but I have one here from like the 1800s, and I think one that I had online from the 1700s, that says that the earth is talking about the people there, the people of the earth, the groups. Okay, and then if you look at waters in the Bible that we looked at from the 1700s, it says that the King James was the father, I believe, and his father is the Most High God. Okay, so again, we're talking about mere men, from what we can tell, that we've been taught in school one way historically about these people, and then religiously with a false narrative and notion in the church about these same families and bloodlines. Okay, and some of them have mixed with your family, and I feel as though some of us, again, coming from particular places in the Americas, again, and this is also funny, going back to how it says whose names weren't written in the book of life in the beginning of the of time, right? So again, it's deep, it's deep, it's deep, it's deep. Okay, so we're talking about all the things that have been afflicting us, the music that has come out, the negative image that has come out about the earth, right? Even us being able to be slain on television, even Kamala being the prosecutor, because again, they were coming to persecute, right? And prosecute and persecute are damn near the same things. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So, let's keep on going. It says, so the angel took me in spirit into the wilderness. Now, remember, we're talking about Abraham, I believe, or Moses. I can't remember which one. I think it was Abraham that saw God in his pineal, right? And there's times where it seems as though someone is saying that the temple is within you, and that you need to find this within you, right? Okay. And so when we're talking about going into the wilderness, I think that's where, remember when they were in the wilderness, they were complaining, they were afraid, they were like, oh, he coming down here to kill us, why he bring us, they just want to kill, we should have left us, you know what I'm saying? It was that. And it's kind of like the spirit that's put on the people today, our people today, when it comes to all of these things. So again, his story is repeating itself because the same people are playing the game. Okay. And again, it has a lot to do with everything to do with you. Okay. So again, there I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet animal, and that had 7 heads and 10 horns, written all over with blasphemies against God. All right. So this person had blasphemies written all over against God. right? Now, again, is this God, and it has a God with a capital G. Now, is this God, again, them warring against God or coming to war against God? Is that warring against the real original gods or the American gods? You know what I'm saying? Or is that in her saying these things about how we need to get this vaccination, we need to get this on, persecuting and prosecuting the martyrs or the so-called saints or the children, as well. Or is it going in the other direction is what I'm, just pondering on. Okay. So, she was sitting on the scarlet animal, okay, and written all over her were blasphemies against God. The woman wore pure, no, I'm sorry. The woman wore purple and scarlet clothing and beautiful jewelry made of gold and precious gems and pearls, and held in her hand a golden goblet full of obscenities. Okay. So again, this woman here, we really don't see that much on her, but we're looking at here California. It says here the Roman goddess Minerva, as also known as Athena in Greek mythology. And again, these mythology, they put folklore and mythology on these things, but again, they're equally as important as what's in the book. That's just your part that has been put over there, okay? And the kings that reign over the earth, and their children are mostly spoken of in their dealings with you in the Old Testament, which is again about the old world. The New Testament is of the new world, okay? And then it says the grizzly bear, grapes, wine. So again, a sheaf of grain. So again, like we were talking about harvesting the other day, it's talking about agriculture. Again, these could be horns as well, okay? A miner representing California gold rush and the mining industry, and sailing ships. Okay, these are also ships, relationships, censorship. You see what I'm saying? All of these ships, permission ships, citizenships, all of these ships. Okay, these are relationships with this beast. Okay, so we have taken the mark in a sense. Okay, unknowingly. Okay, they're just tightening up and tuning it up and fixing it up here. Okay, and so it says the economic power. So again, what we're talking about in this Bible is also economic when we're talking about the whore. Okay, all right, and so it also says here that this word means eureka, like we found it or whatever. I have found it or whatever. Okay, but we see that on some of these things, this thing looks kind of reddish. There's different seals, versions of it. Excuse me. Yeah, there's different versions of it. But again, you see here a face with some red eyes and stuff sitting on this shield behind this bear. Sometimes he's laying down because again, it's altered over time. And she has horns, and then she has wings or something off the side of her head. Something is going on here, but the thing has, you see what I'm saying right there. All right. All right. And so, it says something about the 7 hills. And again, different ones depict these mountains back here differently. But let's see how many we have in this one. And I'll just go by color because they have it color coordinated. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So yeah, it looks like 7 different colors of hills on this thing, possibly. So we're just looking at that right now, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and look at Kali, right? Because Khalifa, Kali, California, all right? And so now we see her here, and she has, here, she only has the forearms. And again, she has heads on here. She has heads on her necklace here. And she's stomping down some people here, but it looks like she has the indigo. It looks like she has the dark mahogany skin, so-called origine. And it looks like she has a European or a lighter version of India here. And then it looks like she has the brown, copper colored man again, with the head, like she's been cutting it off, and there's a cup or this bowl here, which blood is dripping into. And there's a sun behind her. She's called the Great Destroyer. Again, Abaddon is the destroyer as well. So again, that's what we see here. But we're going to look at something that's really funny here, though. Now, this person, this thing here on Wikipedia, it says Kali, Sanskrit, okay? And then it says Kalika. But again, this person that's in office now is Kamala, okay? But then again, you could say we're going too far with that, because it's Kalika, okay? They say Khalifa, whatever. But again, this name here, or Shayama, okay? A Hindu goddess, okay? Kali is the chief, see what I'm saying? Of the Mahavidas, okay? A group of 10 tantric goddesses who each form a different aspect of the mother goddess, Parvati, okay? Now, again, this is Kali, goddess of time. Again, what time is it? And then it says creation. So again, what are we talking about even when we're talking about the creation story? Because there's different creation stories within the text, right? One, when they both male and female were made at the same time, and he called them Adam. So again, this could be talking about transgenders, because the Nag Hammadi does say that Adam was a androgynous being. And we could be talking about also, that they made man and woman at the same time, whatever. But then even the story about taking the rib, once you do etymology and break that down, it's not talking about what you thought. If anything, we could be symbolically talking about removing the rib of a ship and taking people out of the womb, or the belly of the ship. And it can also be talking about taking something, and if you go back deep enough, or maybe, again, I never know what the name of the videos is, what I put, but we talked about the rib and how they would take a piece of cartilage from the rib back in the 1800s, early 1800s, doing reconstructive surgery and using that as a what. Okay, and so there's a deep connection with that again, I feel comfortable with that possibly being one of the possibilities. So again, we're going to see here that it says affiliation. So this is who she's affiliated with, and it says Mahakali, Mahavedas, Devi. Now, who did we just say his name is Devi? Whose name did we say is Devi? Okay, all right. And then we're talking about the Brahmin, okay? Because the Brahmin is at the top of the pyramid when it comes to the caste system as well. And India is the people who started the caste system in the first place. And there's still also a strong presence of racism there. But then if we want to go ahead and look at so-called Africa and all the countries there, people want to go back there, but at the same time, now they have a whole army of people that look like them, that are treating them the same way that the so-called white man, or the public authority, militias of the authority that take the oath to the crown, okay, or the kings, all right? So they taking an oath to protect them from you, not the other way around. I mean, from you, protect them from you, okay? And especially in times like this. And it's also to keep us in line or keep us in check, right? Okay. Oh, and so it says Kali is portrayed standing or dancing on her consort. Okay. Again, the Hindu god Shiva, who lies calm and prostrates beneath her. Okay. So again, that's kind of funny, because that does look like, I think in this image, a female laying under her, and could it be the girl that was sitting on the next to the bear on this Great Seal of California? Okay, all right. So I just thought that was very interesting. We have Devi here, y'all. Okay, and for those who haven't seen that yet, we can go ahead and look here. So Yama, okay? Now, let's look at what Kamala Harris's mother's name is. Shyamala, okay? Just kind of strange there, okay? I mean, you could take it how you want, but it looked kind of strange there that's the case. And we have also Kamala Devi. Again, if you add the L, that's devil. But again, in my eyes, Satan is not the uh, Satan should never have been depicted as the evil person of everyone. Okay. And God should, and one of these gods or these gods or whatever God, possibly that you are worshiping in religion, and especially our people, which is why we have not been able to do it any, do again, progress. Okay. And we've been stagnant, okay, or misled. Again, we do read in the text that many will come in my, Jesus says, many will come in my name saying, I am the Christ. This is why I tell you it's a difference between Christ. And he said, will deceive many. Now, someone will take that and make you think that they're saying that somebody's going to come and say, I'm Christ, I'm Christ. Or, but we've never really seen anybody doing that in our whole lives or in generations to come. I mean, generations, right? Okay. And then saying that, so again, I think he's saying they're going to be telling people that he is the Christ, to wait for him in the Christ is within you for a certain group of people. Now they may have to wait for this Christ of the governing force, because again, a Christ or something like this could be looked at as Abraham Lincoln freeing, having something to do with freeing indentured servants and other groups that came into the Americas, and taking them out of the underworld and bringing them to life and making them living creatures in the kingdom of God, which is the abode of God, which is the pyramid on your dollar bill and the pyramid of the caste system. And then it then put you down low. So when it says Satan, you know, how does, or you bright morning star, how did you fall so low? Is something to think about. Could still be indigenous people, but again, it could be you. Okay, so again, God is the one that killed the whole world at one particular time. Satan, I don't remember him killing anyone in the biblical text. And again, when they say that he was lying to Adam and Eve, he did not, because she said that they would die. And he said that this is we're just using the way that people see it in church. And they ate the shit and they did not die. Okay, actually, like he said, God knows that you're going to be like him. And so he doesn't want you to eat it. And they ate it, and then what did they say? Hey, they have become gods. Should we let them take from this tree? Okay, so let's keep on moving. Let's keep on moving. Okay, and so it says here that, let's see. Oh, I wanted to show you the one more image. Okay, and then again, the woman in white. We're in Revelations. What is she dressed in here? Okay, so again, it would be good to go back to 10 and 20 possibly, or whatever, just because this is November 20th, to see what was going on at that point in time. But there was another image of Kali I wanted to show you guys, with a lot of arms. I don't know why I don't have it here. Okay, well, we just won't have it. And I think there's 10 on the image that I was going to show you guys. There was 10 arms, because that, again, that could be the 10 horns. Also, when you look up, let me see. Let's go here. Oh. All right. Let me see. Gnats. Okay. No, I want to go to here. Okay. And let's go back one. All right, back. Okay. Prediction. Okay. So, I wanted to say, so again, okay, we didn't make it that far yet. Okay, my apologies. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So, now it says that a mystery caption was written on her forehead: Babylon the Great, mother of prostitutes and idol worship, everywhere around. Okay, so everywhere around the world. Okay, now it says that I could see that she was drunk with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. Okay, now this is the martyrs of Jesus, and she had killed. Okay, all right, so again, you can't become a slave unless you are, there's been acts or codes or things written where no man could be put under slavery unless he went to jail or something like this, or into captivity. And again, what happened, and again, you're already in captivity, so-called, as prisoners of war. Okay, but again, this whole thing, as above so below, again, someone may see it differently, but then again, I see it as I also see it as the eye you see is supposed to be representing you in your temple within. But symbolically, like they have done everything else, they've taken it out and made it into something for you to worship, like Jesus and the cross and the statues and all these things. Okay. So, anyways, she had killed. I stared at her in horror. Okay. Why are you surprised? Okay. The angel asks, I'll tell you who she is and what the animal she is riding represents. Okay. He was alive, but isn't now. All right. He was alive, but isn't now. And yet soon he will come up out of the bottomless pit and go to eternal destruction. Okay. Now, I don't know what we talking about. At first I was thinking, okay, is we talking about Trump? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Is that what we're talking about? I really don't know. You know, I don't want to say. Okay. All right. Come up out, and then again, this could be abbadon or abbadon, because again, this is what he is, a destroyer as well, and he is supposed to be coming back out of the. He's supposed to be coming out after 1,000 years, just like so-called Satan and so on and so forth. Okay. And go to eternal destruction, and the people of earth, okay, all right, so this is the people of earth, have not been, oh shoot, let's see, 17, the people of, earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life before the world began. Okay. Now, again, are we talking about the new world right now? Are we talking about the census? Are we talking about some other type of book? You know, who knows? All right. Will be dumbfounded at his reappearance after being dead. Okay. So again, after he had been dead. Now, there's a lot of people in the deep conspiracy. I mean, no, I'm not going to call them that. Why am I saying that? That's not what it's called. In these truther movements that are looking more at things on their level. See, because they're supposed to be looking at this and talking about all of the adrenochrome. And I mean, okay, y'all know we ain't going to mention it all here because, again, all right. So that in the disgusting, despicable things that have been going on with sex slave trades and stuff like this, and children pedophilia in that state as well. Okay. So then it says, so after being dead. Now, what's his name? Biden, okay, after you leave the office, then again, I don't know if you're dead in the eyes of law, but again, you're not a living creature, or you're not a person that is in the higher up levels anymore, in the limelight anymore. So again, he had been taken, he was with Obama, both terms, right? Okay. So it appears even that, should he be getting another term? I don't know exactly how that part works, but he would have been dead. And then she brought him back into the arena. Okay. All right. So again, them making you think that, like I said, it's up to you. Okay. And it says, and now think hard. And the other book says those who have wisdom. Okay. His 7, oh my goodness, I'm telling you this for honestly to take me. His 7 heads represent a certain city, built on 7 hills where this woman has her residence. Okay. Now a city is interesting to break down as well. Okay. Because we're not always talking about what we think a city is today. All right. And it says where this woman has her residence. Now, doesn't she live where? In California? I'm not sure. Okay. And they also represent 7 kings, or are these 7 angels or archangels? I don't know. 7 governors, something like this. Okay. So it says 5 have already fallen. Okay. The 6th now reigns. Now we just open up the 6th seal, the 6th whatever with the Senate, and we have here, which again are archangels, are the ones that we're talking about nowadays, are Gabriel. We might be talking about Gabriel Warnock. We might be talking about Uriel Garza. We might be talking about Raphael Warnock, Uriel Garza, Gabriel Sterling, and Michael Pence. Okay, those are 4 names of 4 angels, right? And it says here that let's see, now reigns in the 7th is yet to come. So again, this could also be talking about 7 people that came before, like a Trump, Barack, Biden, Pence, and it could be talking about George and Rumsfeld, because again, Rum was one of those angels that I got caught up to thinking, was it Rudy Giuliani or Rumsfeld, and possibly could be. Okay, and it says his reign will be brief. Okay, so again, I don't know what brief means. Trump was only in for 4 years. He didn't get that second term, so again, could that be brief? And if we look at it, 40 and 2 months, if we add a little bit on or take a little bit off, we could be right around where Trump, because he did get impeached supposedly, or if they were working on that. So who knows what actually be going on in that time on their side, where he may not have been reigning, because again, his seal was missing. He did not have the great seal in front of him when he was speaking for a certain amount of time. Okay, and it says the scarlet animal that died is the 8th king, having reigned before as one of the 7. After his second reign, okay, so he had reigned before with one of the 7. So again, this is definitely possibly talking about your Biden. Okay, it could be. Okay, after his second reign, he too will go to his doom. Okay, again, now a lot of people are saying that he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. Is he? I don't know. Okay, his 10 horns are 10 kings who have not yet risen to power. They will be appointed to their kingdoms for one brief moment to reign with him. They will all sign a treaty giving their power and strength to him. Together they will wage war against the Lamb. Now, who is the Lamb? Now, we said that George Floyd could have been looked at as a sacrifice or a sacrificial lamb, the gold casket, all of these people coming out to do these things. These are all some type of sacrificial or ceremonial or some type of ritual or something that we're witnessing here. Okay, so all of these things had to happen. Okay, and the Lamb will conquer them. Okay, and again, this may even be talking about let's see, I don't know, this could be talking about the one Raphael. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going back and forth. Or it could either be talking about Trump. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because when you pull the Trump card, I guess that's it, right? So I don't know. Okay. For he is Lord over all lords and King of kings, and his people are called the chosen and the faithful ones. Now, again, we could look at what's going on with these supporters. I mean, what are chosen, faithful ones? I'm just saying, okay? The oceans, lakes, and rivers that the woman sitting on represents masses of people of every race and nation, okay? So again, these oceans and lakes and rivers that she's sitting on represent masses of people of every nation. Now, we already know that so-called America is a melting pot. Sorry if I'm talking, apologies if I'm talking fast, but I want to go ahead and get through this. And it says that this is talking about every nation. Now, we know that there's already a melting pot, but then we see that places like New York and places like California, they are like really, you know what I'm saying, a mixture of groups. Even Louisiana could be considered a place with a lot of mixture of different people from different backgrounds and nationalities of all over the place. Okay, and it says the scarlet animal and his 10 horns, which represent the 10 kings who will reign with him. All right, all hate the woman. All right, so they all hate the woman. And again, what is this talking about? Is this talking about the woman that we're talking about? All right. Or is this also talking about groups of people? You see, because we just talked about multitudes and different groups of people. But again, all hate the woman. I told you guys before that when we were talking about a woman, it also was used at one point in time to describe male, female, child, like just like it, as a whole. Not as a whole, but it was talking about groups. So think of, okay, all right. We okay, think of it if we go back to the earth being origines. Okay, so the inhabitants would be the children of the earth and the sea. All right, so that's why it's saying even like one foot is on the earth and one foot is on the sea. So you got dual citizenship, and I think Trump has this. He even has dual coat of arms. Okay, so when we're talking about that, are they talking about they can't stand that woman? Okay, because she is whoring around. Okay, and this is why they didn't want them in there, and they were treating the earth very badly, right? Or are we talking about just indigenous, native, so-called people in general? Because again, that's what a woman would mean. This is when the man leaves his mother and father's land and joins with his wife on her shores and gives birth to a nation, then all of those people are their children. Again, some came straight from where they were and brought over in abundance, like in Genesis. Some created second or subgroups here. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, there. So again, this is either talking about her personally or it's talking about indigenous people, native people, or, inhabitants. Okay. And will attack her and leave her naked and ravaged by fire. Now, again, we're talking about the fire of the Kundalini energy, or the fire that is lit that within a certain vessel, I believe, and cannot be dimmed. And all of these things had to happen in order to get us all the way up to where we needed to be in consciousness, frequency, and energy, so that this can happen. So that, again, whoever's looking at it is thinking that the earth is ready for harvest. And we already talked about what that means. Okay. For God will put, and then I think it means to also be put back to sleep. Okay. For God will put a plan into their minds. Okay. So he's going to put a plan into their minds, a plan that will carry out his purpose. So this is plans in mind that's going to carry out his purpose. So he's going to put it in their mind to do some things possibly to you, to this energy, okay, or this whatever, this spiritual something, because we're talking about spiritual warfare, okay, is what's going on right now. These signs and symbols triggering things, making you remember, making you fear, making you, so you have to be careful with some of these things. And they will mutually agree to give their authority to the scarlet animal. Now, again, we're talking scarlet also, okay? Whew. If we're talking scarlet also, scarlet is a form of red. And when we talk about Enoch and the baby was born, and it said that either white, pale, okay, or white, and his hair was white as wool and white as this, okay, like whose hair is, but he also has a blooming color like a blooming rose. Go and look at a couple of images of this person, Michael, and you will see that it fits that description very well. Sometimes he looks very sick pale, and sometimes he has this red radiant thing. Also, Trump has light colored hair, and he also looks pretty pale, like he wears makeup and around his eyes is really light. And if you look at this Gabriel Sterling, again, he has long locks that are white or silver, okay? And he also, you can't really never see his face, all right? It also speaks about the eye color of this person. Now, again, most of the presidents, I think they said, had blue eyes, but except for a couple. And Pence has a very unique color of eye, okay, when you can see them. Biden, his eyes go black or dark. Trump, sometimes even eyes go really dark and black. So again, I'm just looking at things on the surface, right, with what's going on here. So they mutually agreed to give the authority to the scarlet beast. It almost seems like this is giving the authority to Pence right now in these last times, so that the words of God will be fulfilled. All right. So now this is so that the words will be fulfilled. All right. Now, with the words of what God? Is this the God that don't want you to be free, or is this the God that came, or is this the Christ? See, this is the big thing here. Okay. All right. And then again, you're also thinking that what does this mean? Also them being able to hurry up and get in and vaccinate 1 million people. See? Okay. And it says, and this woman you saw in your vision represents the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. And again, this could be India. India has some old ancient things as well. A history, or even Asia, calling it Asia altogether, right? Okay. And again, they do, in a sense, right, rule over them, because again, let's just think about this here. How long wasn't Trump making a big deal about China sucking from us all this time and not paying? And then he tried to put a change to that. And then as soon as Biden wants to think he's getting back in, he wants to say, oh, we're so glad we're back covering up and getting our ties back together with all of these other nations, and everybody's happy now and all this other stuff, right? Okay. And this is why they use the media to trigger, again, rather it's going to play out. It's an act, it's a play. So again, we're just looking at how it's supposedly playing out. Okay. So whether we're talking about it's been just an act, or it's not happening, or whichever way, this is just what we can just see what's going on right here in front of us. We don't really know what's going on in closed doors, okay, or behind closed doors. All right. And so yeah, I think that's it. Like even when we're looking at perdition, we'll just do this real quick for those who are still here. It says a condition of damnation, okay, spiritual ruin. So again, what are they going to ruin in you? See, with this thing here, with these vials, right? And it says state of the souls of the wicked in hell. So again, who are we talking about? Those are the people in the Sheol. Those are the untouchables, the undesirable, or the Dalit people. Even some of the people that are on top of us, the commoners, peasants, and servants in that system that is protected by the system, which you are not, right? Are feeling that. So when we're talking about the sea is getting drunk with their wine, you see, again, did they give these people vaccinations? If these people, where are all these people coming from? Where did they get these people from? Even if you look at the American Gods, when she said that I created you guys for a certain reason, you need to be distracting people, you need to be putting on this, you need to be doing this, and what are we seeing here? Okay, what are we seeing play out right in front of our eyes? Okay, and it says a special theological sense, the general sense of utter. So again, a lot of people are uttering things here, and they're trying to shut you up at the same time. So they utter destruction. It has to fall. Like I say, in order for this thing to fall, we must all stand. We must all stand together. Okay. So entire ruin, great harm, death, fact of being lost or destroyed, loss, calamity, perdition, souls of souls. Okay. Destruction. Okay. Kali is the destroyer. And it's in the spiritual. See. So the more pigmented you are, the closer I feel you are to that spirit. Okay. So at the end of the day, some people it can be in certain other people's because of DNA, because it's not only just based on color, I don't think at this time. But if they have them spiritually in tune, and you over here, you can't get together because of titles and names and skin color, then, that's just what we're probably talking about. So it says away, or to throw away, or squander. Okay. Or to give. So again, when they're saying this thing about these things have barcodes, and you already have a serial number in your Social Security, then, some of you, I'm just saying, it's just something to pay attention to. The abode of Satan in the forces of hell, where sinners suffer eternal punishment. You already there, honey. Don't let them tell you about to die and go some damn where. You already there. The die and go somewhere was talking about their children if they go ahead and uprise like they did the so-called insurrection the other day. That's what that's talking about. Okay? Because like I told you, it's people of authority that have the right to kill you, not so-called everyday white folks or everyday foreigners. Okay. It's not that way. They have to be people of authority. If someone that is white kills you, they are going to go to jail, vice versa. But if someone of authority, then it's questionable. They act like they cannot press charges because the law is set up that they cannot. So instead of being in your feelings about the whole thing, you need to go ahead and get recognized game and see that they are able to kill you because you are not people. You are not a part of the we of people. Even if you were, even we know we are the original earth or people, not creatures, because those were people that were created or formed. Okay. So since we do know that, we know that. But what I'm saying is they might have switched it around or flipped the script where it is you now. Okay. And that's how we've been going along for a very long time. All right. And it says to the bottomless perdition there to dwell. Okay. So they want to bring you back into a low vibrational status. All right. So abomination also is talking about abomination here. It says a thing or an action, feeling of disgust, hatred, loathing, right? Okay. A shun, omen, ab or off away, right? Stem of omen. Okay. The biblical use often in which ceremonially impure. The meaning was intensified by folk etymology. So it says away from man. Okay. Thus beastly. Okay. Was mocked by Shakespeare in Love Labor. Okay. Now, let's see. Hated couple with disgust, action that is vicious and vile. Okay. And then let's see this one. Okay. Because, yeah, this is the one I wanted to see. Okay. And so it says some 12th century, a vagabond. Okay. This is a harlot. Okay. A man of no fixed occupation. So again, this person is all over the place, right? Okay. And then what is occupation, right? Okay. So a rascal or a scoundrel. So again, don't think that Trump don't owe money to some of these people too. So I'm saying, which one is it? It can't be, for me, it can't be neither one of them. For me, it's going to have to be us because we are the only ones that are going to be able to save us. And again, that's just what I feel. Okay. All right. So it says here, a jester, see, a buffoon, juggler. See, now they put this fool in office this time right now in order to do the work that they have done. And it has worked because people are too busy in their feeling. They don't like to look at the facts. They don't like to come out of it and say, why are they able to just kill us and nobody has gone to jail yet? Well, damn, maybe it's a law set up. They got it set up where they are able to do that. And it's not actually white people's fault. We need to be mad at the people that are on top of in the hierarchy. We need to direct that energy towards them in order to have that fall. Okay. So it says here, the later to actors. Almost done. Got 5 minutes. Secondary sense of a prostitute or unchaste woman. Okay. But this was reinforced by its use of euphemistical from strumpet. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, we know that he got property all over this place. All right. We know that he has property all over the world. Okay. And he has different coat of arms all over the world. Okay. All right. And it says English translation of the Bible. The word may be Germanic, original sense of camp follower. Now, listen, do you understand what I'm saying? An army. As some suspect, a woman engages in sexual intercourse for money. Do you see what I'm saying? See? Okay. Loose, crude, or obscene behavior. See what I'm saying? A juggler, a jester, and he has been put in there from the beginning in order to do this work. Okay. So again, I think that's it. Let me look at one more thing real quick. I think we do need to look at Kali. Let's see. Here we go. Not sure if I showed this one. Same thing. Look at this. Okay. And again, somebody is trampled underneath. Now we do have the, when you look at CERN, when you look at I think it's the temple of Vishnu, which again, I'm wondering if that's Vashti even anyway. But we'll see that she has the 10 arms here. Here. She also has these cuffs that's interesting around the wrist. And she has something on her forehead, right? She has the eye there. Okay. Again, I don't know. And blasphemy, is this what that tongue means? Right? Okay. And then you have these eyes here. These are all eyes here, I believe, on the crown. Damn, I'm not using but you see on the crown, okay, will represent certain jewels or whatever. And she got pearls and ruby and gold and all this shit that they talk about in the book. Okay. All right. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys are feeling good out there. Again, this is not anything to fear. You know what I'm saying? Once you know better, you got to do better. So I feel like in these times, the books are open. Your books, your Akashic records are open. So we're going to be able to tap into different things. We're going to be able to go higher. Those who have been practicing and putting, that took that chance to cut themselves off from this system as much as possible and go within, and whatever they have offering or trying to indoctrinate, entertain, or manipulate you into doing, you've restrained from that. So these are people that's like, you know what, nah, school system, you know, little things that you see that you've been doing to try to pull away from it as much as possible. People that have been changing statuses, you know what I'm saying, because we're only doing what we're being called to do the best way that we can work it out. See? All right. And that's why unity is key. I don't mean that to say that we should be just mixing with, but all the information that we're sharing is public information. If somebody really wanted to know, they could find it out anyway. We're not really showing anything deep, you know, in the groups or online. So again, when I'm saying that, does it matter at this point? If we all are at one heart and one mind, and we all know that something has been done to us and we want it back, or that we know that we need to right some wrongs for our children in their future, it shouldn't matter what you calling yourself. And we should stop letting little stuff like that get in the way. We should be able to post things and have an intelligent conversation. We should be able to not be talking bad about each other and just build, because this Israelite might be depicting or seeing something one way, which somebody like me that's reading the Bible might be able to use that, you know what I'm saying, to challenge it or to whatnot. And then somebody else could be a Moor that might know something about certain laws and acts that you don't. So again, we're supposed to be doing this. None of our ancestors, I don't think, really put this on. I think it all has to do with foreign. Now, mind you, when we say white supremacy, you're losing the thought of the fact that there are people that look like you that are deceiving you as well. And this is where a lot of people are going to be led down that road, because it's never been about that. It's always been the hierarchy covering their behinds and enslaving in some way, mentally, physically, religious, whatever, the people that are below them. And it doesn't matter what color they are. They really don't give a damn. All right. So when I'm saying that we should be able to build together and help each other in this time, because we are all the children of people that have gone through something that we're all being lied to about. Okay, so those titles, I should be able to respect you as what you are, and we just move on. You might have some information, some intel for me. I may be able to help you. And if somebody is really shady or something, hey, report them, like by tagging them or something like that, so I can find it and we can, you know, get them out of there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to delete somebody because they're saying something that makes you feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I don't like people calling people names and stuff like that, but I'm not going to delete somebody or remove them because they're always in disagreement unless they're causing a nuisance. So then just send me a screenshot through Messenger or something, and I'll look at it, and then, you know, we'll go from there. Okay. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching, or gratitude, and enjoy the rest of your day. Apologies for taking so long, but again, I just want to be thorough. Okay.